Hello and welcome. I'm the Skin Appraiser and this is God King Garen. This is a legendary skin with the price tag of 1820 RP. This is Garen as the King of Order. So for the splash art, we can see Garen standing high and proud leading his army to the battlefield. There's nothing much really to talk about in the background. Just a cloudy grey sky with some flying rocks. Flying rocks. Maybe they're using a trebuchet or something. Also, we get a glimpse of the army behind Garen. On the distant right, we see blurry soldiers that seems to be charging already. While on the left, we see a more detailed soldiers holding their ground behind Garen. Let's talk about the main attraction here. Starting with the lion. The lion is in this transparent blue body, so it's like a conjured lion. It looks alright. It has some weird horns that looks like a crown, but other than that, it resembles a normal lion. Not a fan of it though. The lion looks magical, which isn't really a thing for Garen, so it doesn't fit. As for the God King himself, he looks very impressive. Lots of cool details on his hands and his torso, but as we go down to his legs, the details are fading away. I really like the design of the armors though. It reminds me of some fantasy games like Terra Online. The armor is very fancy, with transparent cape and some light shining down for his passive. Overall, I will give this a 2 out of 3. Yes, it looks cool, but the context here is just half of it. Just like Dawnbringer Riven, this splash art is just half of the whole thing. For the in-game model, God King Garen is obviously more on the fantasy side. It looks very fancy and flashy. The armor design prioritizes the aesthetics more than the function of it. As we can see, there's a lot of lion's face all around the armor. We have 2 on the shoulders, 1 on the back, and the goofy lion's face on the sword. The sword looks thick, but it doesn't really look like it can split into 2. So I'm not convinced. But I love the concept though on his E animation. More on that later. As for the cape, it is transparent, semi-transparent. It looks very fancy and it fits the aesthetic of the armor. It also emphasizes that Garen is part of the order. The texture of the armor looks good, especially the floating shoulder pads, but the texture on the clothing underneath the armor looks messy. As for the lion, he's there, sometimes. He appears more on his emotes, but yeah, he's just there to add more flashy particles on the skin. As for the animations, everything is new, but it still feels like Garen. His idol animation looks alright, but I kinda wish he has the same pose as the splash art. And then, you know, the lion would appear beside him. I think that's more badass than this one.
Why did the God King cross the road? To smite the unbelievers. Classic. A god does not bother with blasphemers. Ha 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 ha!
new particles and sounds for all of his abilities. Lots of flashy lights and particles. His Q have light particles surrounding his sword while charging. His W have a nice glow, and the lion appears as if he is protecting you. His E is quite cool actually. He builds up momentum and spins. Then he split his sword while spinning. His ult have multiple swords coming down the sky and a lion's sigil.
I am just! Judgment has come! Crush them!
Overall, this is a great skin if you like the design of it. The fantasy RPG like armor and the particles, or maybe you want to spin without looking like an idiot. Well, this skin is for you. But if you think about it, it doesn't really suit Garen. It feels too flashy and magical. We know that Garen doesn't use magic, and him being a king, I feel sorry for Jarvan IV for getting neglected. Did you know that this skin shares the Order and Chaos theme with, well, mainly with God King Darius and the others? His splash art is part of the larger picture in which he is facing Darius. God King Garen is a descendant of Dawnbringer Riven. God King Garen is still a great skin to buy. The design is appealing and eye-catchy, but the concept is not for everyone. If you love the design and the fancy particles, then I would recommend this skin. I will give this a master rating. For me, the selling point of this skin is his new E animation. Gotta love that badass spinning, right? So, are you looking to buy this skin? Which do you prefer? God King Garen or Steel Legion Garen? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, this video is my personal opinion. Leave a like if you enjoyed watching and subscribe for more skin appraisal. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.